Every day it's a win. Since I was told that you don't want me, baby, you're just calling. You know I try to hold on to where there's no you.
What is up, tube? And welcome back to another tutorial by Big Al's Barber channel. Guys, we need to bring this young man back to life. As you can see, he's been hiding out for a while. And what we're going to do to him, guys, we're going to do a zero fade comb over with a beard trim, guys. And as you can see, his hair on the sides is extremely long. It's probably like 2-3 inches long. So what I'm going to do, guys, is I'm going to bring everything down to a level playing field. And what I'm doing is I'm just going to use my number 4, and I'm going to go right up the sides, guys, right off the crown. He wanted a little bit of a lip, a little bit of a darkness right there, so I'm not going to take it down too tight. So I'm just going to leave it down to a number 4. And what I'm doing is I'm just taking off all the bulk, taking off everything that's long, and then just basically leveling it out to a number 4. Now, guys, a lot of people do this different ways. You know, some people are gonna say I massacred this haircut because I'm taking it down quickly, but you could have done scissors on top, I guess. But in the way I was taught you, when you're doing scissors on top, you do the scissors last, machine first, scissors last. So basically what we're doing right here is we're just taking it down the sides all nice and even to a number 4. Combing the hair over so I can see where I'm at right there. Look at how long his hair is. His hair is probably like, I would say maybe like a number 10, if there is a 10. It's at least 2 inches long, so it's very, very long. And I'm just going right up the sides, guys. I'm not going into the parietal ridge, not going into the bend of the hair. I'm just basically going right off the sides, taking off all the bulk. Like I said, there's many ways of doing this haircut, but this is going to be a tight haircut. It's going to be a zero fade to a razor, guys. So, you know, you have to take down all that bulk. The longest point on a fade is usually on mine. My fade is a 1.5 to a 2. So, you know, even a 4 is going to be long on the sides. So, but it's going to give me a level playing field so that I can make my guides and start fading up. So I'm just taking that 4 right off the sides. See that? Not really going in. And as I go up, I'm doing my C-cut motion again. Flicking my wrist out. Making sure that everything's nice and even. See that? Just flicking it straight out. This comb that I have in my hand is a Barber Nova comb, and it's I like it. It's like very long, and it's easy to maneuver, and even maneuver the hair where I need it in certain directions. The machine I'm using on this right here, guys, is a Babyliss Gold FX. If you guys are wondering, Babyliss Gold FX. It's been out already for a while. I've already been on it. I have 2 of them. Love the machine. Really liking the Babyliss line of products that have been coming out. They've been really upping their game. As you can see right there, guys, I've already taken down the size. Now we're at a level playing field. Now we can get to work here and start making our guidelines. Now imagine making that guideline if that hair was long the way it was. It would be all in the way, you know. So eliminate that step by just, you know, taking all that bulk down. Now that I take the bulk down, now I'm gonna grab my GTX scalatorized trimmer that I scalatorized myself, and I'm going to use that to create our first guideline right here. Just going straight down, creating the first guideline. Everything below that is going to be bald, shaved down with the Bronze Series 9. So everything below the guideline is going to be completely bald. As you can see right now, I'm going to turn them around, and you can see where the guideline is coming through. Many ways of making this guideline, guys. Some use GTX, some use 5 zeros on an Ostra blade detachable. Some use I use a Balder sometimes. Balder has been my go-to machine for creating these guidelines for the longest time, because it just saves you trimmer blades. You know, this right here, what I'm doing is kind of wasting my trimmer blade because I'm hitting all this bulk and taking it all down. Why I'm using this machine, I don't know. You know what? Sometimes that's the way it is in barbering. You pick up the machine you feel comfortable with that day, and sometimes I'll go with the machine all day long, and sometimes I won't even touch a machine all day long. I'm weird, but I have a lot of different machines that I like to use. As far as trimmers, the GTX trimmer is one of them. I have a gray Andes trimmer that I use that's also scalatorized, and now I use the Babyliss skeleton. Those are my top 3 trimmers right there, guys. case you guys are wondering. Okay, so now we're down to a level playing field. Now we can start fading our doing our fade here, guys. And the way I do my fades right here, I'm gonna start off with a number 1.5 lever open, and I'm gonna go straight up and create a guideline right there, guys. You guys can see it's kind of hard to tell because he has such dark hair, but it's creating a guideline. See that? You can kind of see it a little bit better there now. I go up probably about 1.5 inches, maybe to the bottom of the crown. Remember, when I say the crown around the head, is if he was wearing a crown, it'd be like a band around his head, and it'd be at bottom of the crown, middle of the crown, the top of the crown. Okay, so right here we probably went to the middle of the crown. I would say the middle, and I created a guideline. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to come back right here with some clipper over comb, and I'm going to blend that in. Remember, we went with a number 4 on the sides first, so now we're blending in from a number 1.5 to the number 4, just kind of lifting it up and blending it out, making it nice and even. Anything sticking out gets cut off, guys. Remember that. There's many ways of doing this part right here, guys. This clipper over comb. You know, if you wanted to, you could do steps. Like I said, I had a number 4 on the sides. I could have went 4, 3, 2, 1.5, and then blended it all out, and then went a little bit clipper over comb. But to me, it just seems like easier solution to just come in and start off straight with the number 1 4.5. You know what I mean? For those of you out there that are struggling with clipper over comb, guys, all I can say is that, you know what, take your time with it. Go easy, go slow. As you can see, I'm just right here picking up little bits at a time, trying to get that nice tight blend. You know, and this is another thing that is repetitious, guys. You need to do your reps. If you do your reps, you'll get good at it. You'll get better at it, and trust me, it'll get easier. But it takes time, and again, it's just doing reps. Your reps are so important, and you know, that's the main part. That's the main part of barbering, is getting your reps in, because without your reps, you're not gonna be very successful. So right there, I'm just using the 1.5 again, and I'm just kind of blending it up, you know, trying not to leave it too dark right there. Again, guys, keep in mind that his hair is very dark. You can even tell by the shadows right there. Now I'm going to come in with my no clip lever open, that's a 1/2. And I'm just stretching out the skin, creating a guideline. See that guideline I created? Now I lowered my lever a 1/4 way, and I'm going back to the same spot again. As I go across, I lower my lever another 1/4 way, which is halfway now. Now I'm just going halfway up, and I'm coming back the opposite direction, pushing that shadow up. Every time I do that, I'm actually moving my lever. I moved it to close now, and I'm just pushing that bottom shadow up, trying to stay below that original guideline, guys. That's the 1/2 guideline right there. We created it with the 1/2. And how do you get the 1/2 guideline out? Trick question. You get it out with a 1/2 clip. Remember that. Right here, put my 1/2 clip on, and I can see the little shadow in the middle right there, and I'm just gonna try to fade that out. Get there a little bit closer to fading it out. This is a little bit more difficult fade, guys, because he has dark skin and straight dark hair. So, you know, it makes it for a more challenging haircut. You know, different textures for different countries, different textures for different places, guys. Every type of person, there's so many different types of textures of hair. You're gonna come across them all, guys. So now over there, I'm done with one side. I'm gonna move on to the next side right here. Comb my hair down. Again, I'm gonna go with my number 4 first, right off the sides, guys. Without going in, I'm just gonna go straight up. You see that? Straight up. That way I leave a little bit of a bulk back there in the back. I want it to fall downwards. I don't want it to go straight up and go into the parietal ridge. If it was a little kid, maybe, but an adult, no. Once I'm done with the number 4 there, I'm going to grab my number 1 lever open, and I'm going to do the same technique again. I'm going to go and create another guideline. See right there, it's about 1 inch up. His hair is so dark right here in this video that you can barely tell. You know, I created another guideline right there, probably about 1 inch, 1.5 inches up. Once you get to that spot right there, then right there is where we're going to start our clipper over comb again. As I go across, now I lower my lever to close. That's the number 1. I'm just working on the bottom line, just trying to lighten it up. That way when I go back with my half clip, I have some room right there, you know what I mean? Now I'm going to come right here with my clipper over comb, using my steel tooth comb, guys. If you guys haven't gotten a steel tooth comb, I encourage you to get one. Those are badass. And the machine I'm using right here, guys, if you guys notice, I'm using the Wall 1919. Guys, again, any tool that I use, any machine that I use, more 99% of them are available below in my description for you guys to purchase if you guys want to purchase them. If you guys purchase them through me, I get a little bit of a percentage, and it helps out the channel so that I can keep producing these bomb videos for you. You know what I mean? So right here, just fading it out, blending it in from the 1.5 to the 4. Now I'm going to come back, lever open, which is a half, and I'm going to create another guideline. As I go across, I'm going to lower my lever quarter way, and I'm going to go back to the same spot again. All the way across. Kind of, you notice I don't move, guys. I'm standing still. Only the client's moving. The chair's moving. I spin them around. Now with the lever halfway open, I'm only going to go halfway up now. Halfway up below that initial guideline. Keep that in mind. Fading out that bottom line. Now I have my lever almost completely closed, and I'm just trying to push that bottom shadow up. He has a little indentation right there, so it looks a little darker, but I'm sure it's blended out. Now that we're done with there, there's still a little bit of a line at the bottom that I call the dreaded fade line that a lot of people leave. You don't want to leave that line. So what I do is I use my trimmer right here, and I'm just pushing that line up, maybe about halfway up. Push it up, and when you push it up, you're going to create a little tiny secondary shadow right there. What I'm going to do is come back, no clip, with the machine maybe a quarter way open, and I'm just going to stay below that secondary line. See that little secondary shadow right there? I'm just going to push that up. Good, nice little tight blend. Now I'm going to put my half clip back on, lever open, and I'm going to go across it again. And what I'm fading out right here, guys, I'm fading out the shadow that I created with my half. Remember, it takes a half clip to get out the half shadow. Keeping it nice and tight. Tight fades all the time at Big L's Barbershop, guys. That's what we do. Right there, bad camera angle for a rookie cameraman trying to stay in focus here. Staying below the line right there, just trying to fade it out, guys. Just do a little bit of detail work. Always do your detail work, guys. That's what makes you the difference from everybody else. So this is the side where we're gonna have we're having our little bit of a lip here, so we're trying not to take it down too low. So what I'm going to do is same thing as before. We went with our number 4 already there, so we're going to go with our number 1 lever open, which is a 1.5, and I'm creating another guideline. And that guideline, we're going to blend it out again. Clipper over comb, the magical clipper over comb, guys. If you guys aren't good at clipper over comb, you need to get good at clipper over comb. It's important. It's direly important. When I'm clipper over combing, I start from the bottom and I kind of work my way up. As you can see, I kind of start where the darkness is, start pushing from the bottom up, curl the comb up, drag it across. And if you're wondering why I like this comb so much, guys, it's because it's made out of metal. And when you slide your machine across it, it sounds like you got a sword. And that's not the only reason why I like it, but that's one of the reasons why I like it. The other reason why it just seems like it's the perfect thickness. So when you're doing clipper over comb, you can really get in there. Sometimes it's nice that it has steel tooth, because when you got those little tight hairs, you can really go in there and scoop them out. That's what I like about it the most. But if you guys like it, there's a link in my description for you guys can order yourself one straight for steel tooth combs, guys. Just fading that out right there, guys. Trying to get that a little bit lighter. I'm gonna go back with my 1.5, clean up that little corner right there. You saw that? Yes, I did. 1.5, lower lever, lower my lever. There was a 1. Now I'm gonna come in, no clip, lever open, 1 inch up, create a little guideline. You see that right there? Lower my lever quarter way, go back to the same spot again. Lower my lever one more time, and then I'm only going to go halfway up this time. See the little shadow I created right there with the half? That's the half clip line right there. You take that out with the half clip, guys. Remember that. You got to keep these steps in mind. Cutting hair is so many steps, guys. It's just, you know, right now it's funny because I'm teaching my son, and he's gonna be my new apprentice, and he's been shadowing me. That's the first step of learning how to cut hair, is shadowing somebody, so you follow him step by step and explaining everything what you do. But he seems to be taking very, very good to it, you know. And I think he's gonna be a great barber. Right here, I'm just pushing that line up again, staying again above the secondary line that I created with the trimmer. Remember that when you push up with the trimmer, you're probably going to create a little secondary line. You got to go back in there and take that out. So now all we have is that center shadow right there. That center shadow, we're going to take it out with a half clip lever open, and we're going to slide across it. Just go right across it. As I go across, I'm going to lower my lever another quarter way. Lower my lever another quarter way, and I'm just fading it out. So right here, I'm just messing with that center shadow right there, just trying to fade it out, guys. It's pretty much a fade is done right here. As far as the fade's concerned, that's all it is, guys. Getting them all nice and cleaned up. Getting a little makeover. Came in with a lot of hair, now it's down to a 0. Detail work right there, guys. Lever quarter way open. I see a little shadow. I'm just trying to fade that little shadow out. So this young gentleman came out of the woods, man. He looked like he just climbed out of the forest right here. So he's got a big old beard right here, and you know, we're discussing how he wanted to take care of it, and he came up with the idea that he was gonna just want it a little bit tighter, but not too short. You know, we're gonna leave a little bit of a fullness. So what we're starting off here with is we're going to start off with a number 5, guys, and we're just kind of just evening it out, going every direction, coming from the bottom to the top to the bottom, guys. And as always, like I always explain to you guys, when I do beards, when I do stuff like that, I don't go from side to side of the face. I stay on one side of the face first, and I just find it easier to do one side of the face and then match it to the other side of the face. I just find it easier that way. So right there, I'm just running the number 4 on it, nice and easy, cleaning it all up. And I'm noticing already that it's not going to be probably short enough. Well, what I try to do on situations like this, I try to get the chin hairs longer than the cheek hairs, if that makes sense. So the hairs on the cheek, I want to go shorter. I want to take it down a little bit more. So I comb it down, and here I'm going to come in with a number 4 now. Come in the opposite direction, kind of just cleaning it up. Leaving it nice and full. Not taking too much bulk out. Just taking enough out to make it look nice. But at the same time, you know, evening it out. Taking all the stragglers out. Shaping it. That's the difference between a good beard and a bad beard, guys. You gotta, if you guys aren't good at beards, and you guys gotta get good at beards. And the only way you're gonna get good at beards is doing your homework and doing them. You know, that's the only way. If you don't do your homework and you don't do them, then you're not gonna get good at them. Just like anything. You have to go out there and see that challenge, see it, persist it, and grab it and do it. If you don't do that, then, you know, you're gonna get stuck. Right here, still going with put the number 5 back on. I'm just taking under the chin right there. All nice and even, guys. Nice and even. You can see it's very, very full on the bottom. And number 5 is probably like 3/4 of an inch, maybe. Yeah, about 3/4 of an inch. So now what I'm gonna do is just line them up. And again, I always start when I do my lineups on beards. I always start on this section right here. I do down the side of the sideburn. That's the first step. Come down with a nice straight line. Once I get that nice straight line, then I'm going to do my line on the bottom. That's the first line I do right there. Every single time when I do beards, guys. It's just my little technique of doing beards. Now I'm going to come in here. And he wants it full. He doesn't really want too much off the bottom. You notice he wants it long. He wants it nice and full and large. Not too tight. So kind of just cleaning it up at the bottom. Leaving him at where he's at. There's no use bringing his beard up to the chin, guys, because his hair is going to grow out so fast that he's going to have all that 5 o'clock shadow there. So it's not even going to look right. So it's better to leave it full. Customer always knows. Customer always knows best, guys. Remember that. What the customer wants is that what we have to come up with and we have to complete. But right there, we're just kind of cleaning it up. Pushing it downward right there. Around the mustache right there, guys. You notice I'm just cleaning up one side of the face. Always just do one side of the face. That's just my technique. I don't like going from side to side. I'll do one side of the face and then I'll come back and clean up the other side. Do the bottom of the lip. Do the top of the lip. Do the cheek area right there. Nice straight line. That's what makes your beard look good. Clean up right there. Handlebar. That's on the handlebar on the mustache. So that side's pretty much done. It's already looking pretty tight compared to the other side. As you can see, the other side looks very, very bushy. So right there, this is what I'm gonna do right here, guys. Is I'm kind of just shaping it out. You see that? I see little stragglers, and I'm just kind of shaping it out, knocking them down, making it nice and straight, nice and even, nice and smooth. Nice clean beard trim, guys. Now I'm gonna flip them over. Start on the other side. Same thing. I'm gonna use my number 5 and just even it all out. I actually never went to the number 4, guys. Scratch that last part. It was a number 5 all the way around. I gotta find maybe a bit different way of doing this sometimes, because I don't show my clip what I'm using, and sometimes I'm left with guessing what I was using. You know, like right now I was guessing, but hey, this is definitely a number 5. Number 5 all even. Again, I did one side first. Now I do the other side, just evening it all out, making it all nice and even before I start lining it up. Excuse my camera, going a little bit whack right there on the autofocus, but just getting it all nice and even. Again, guys, why I do these videos in real time? I do these videos in real time because I feel that me doing them in real time and showing you exactly how it's done is a better way than me speeding it up and trying to rush through it. So there, now I'm done with that. Now I'm gonna do the same thing, guys. Once I'm going to start lining up my beard, I always line it up in the same spot. I always do it right down the side of the beard where the ear is. Go straight down. That's what makes your beard look good, guys. Nice little straight beard with straight lines on it. Now I'm coming back the opposite way, just cleaning up the bottom of the neck. And as you can see, I'm kind of shaping it out because I see little hairs kind of sticking out. And those little hairs are the ones that don't look good. So you got to kind of push them up. Put them out of the way. Shaping up the beard. Now I'm going to come down from the cheek. Again, that little line right there is what makes the haircut look good from bad, guys. Remember that. Moving along pretty quickly here, guys. We're just kind of lining up that cheek now. Again, do one side first and the other. Now I'm going below the mustache and then above the mustache. Cleaning it up nice and tight. Again, guys, any machine that I use, clips, descriptions that I use on my tools, everything is available in my description in case you guys want to purchase any of these machines. These machines are all available through Amazon. Our channel gets a little small portion of what you guys buy, and that just helps us, you know, helps us to continue to create content. Right there, just kind of clean it up. See, you see little hairs that are stragglers? It's what you call shaping it out, guys. You take them out by just scooping them off. You could go back with the number 5 again, but those little hairs, you might not grab them, you know. So you go back with your clipper or with your trimmer, and you could just, it's kind of like doing clipper over comb, but without the comb. Just shaping it out, making it like nice and clean, nice and smooth. Beard looks good now. Fade looks good now. We're moving along pretty quickly here. Okay. Fade's done. Beard's done. Now we got to cut the top, guys. Top's simple. It's going to be super long, of course, because the whole hair was long at the beginning. But now we're just going to take it down. Like, as always, when I cut the top, I like to saturate the hair plenty. I don't like cutting hair when the hair is dry for some reason. I just feel like I'm not being able to grab it and maneuver it in the direction that I need. So I'm just trying to, you know, just get it nice and soaked. Not soaked, but, you know, nice and wet. Gonna comb it over right here. Comb it to the left because that's where which way the comb over is going. And what I'm gonna do is go to that first corner right there. Create my first guideline. This hair is super long, guys, so I'm kind of just taking off at least 2 inches to start off with, and I'm probably gonna go back and take a little bit more. As I go back from there, I'm gonna go pick right behind it, pick up my next section. And I'm still not taking enough. I can tell right there, that's super long. That's like still leaving the hair like 3 inches long on top. But again, you got to remember, take into consideration the texture type, because you know, some hair just stands straight up when you cut it. So you got to make sure that that's not the type of hair that it is. Now I move over my next section. I see my guideline right there, and I'm going to cut the same amount. Pick it up. See, there's my guideline right there. Bam. As I go back, I pick up my next guideline. Right there, I take a little bit more, actually. Because towards the back, you want it shorter. So remember that. Comb it back over again. Go to my next section. Add a little bit more water because it's starting to dry up. Again, when I do the tops, I use a lot of water, guys. That's me. I just think it looks it's easier to maneuver the hair and cut it. This is my fourth section right here, guys. Same thing, just lifting it up, cutting it over. Not gonna go very short on top because it just looks good, kind of long. So you know, it's just we already got the sides in order. You know, right there, he's giving me a little bit of general direction of how he's gonna comb it and what he wants to do with it and what it does sometimes when he tries to comb it. So it's good feedback information. That's why you should talk to your customers, to your clients. You know, let them know. Let them let you know what they want, how they want it. Because our interpretation or somebody else's interpretation, you know, they're not always the same. A comb over to one person and a comb over to another person is a different thing. So right there, we're kind of pushing it all back, as you notice. Pushing it back a little bit so see how it looks. As always, when I cut the hair on top, I checker my hair. So I went from side to side first, from front to back. Now I'm gonna move over and I'm gonna go from side to side. And what I did right there is I noticed that that corner right there was super dark. You see how that shadow, that edge right there is dark? So right there I just decided, okay, it's time to work on that now. So we're just gonna work on that and try to level it out, clean it up without taking it too short, guys. Don't want to take that too short because the fade's already done. It's just a little bit of darkness from the parietal ridge right there. And this is the part where I tell a lot of beginning barbers have problems with, is going from the parietal ridge to the side, from the side of the head to the top of the head. That's the parietal ridge, and that's the problem that most people have problems with when they're cutting hair or even learning how to cut hair. They have a lot of problems with that section of the haircut for some reason. I don't know why. Here, just blending it out, guys. Just using my clipper over comb technique, using my steel tooth combs. Right there, it's already starting to look good, man. To me, I'm big difference from when it came in, guys. That's the best part of these kind of haircuts. You know, the makeover part, the where you change them up and make them into new looking people, and you know they come in all excited, and you know they want to come back to you again. Again, this is one of my customers that's been coming to me for years already. This kid started coming to me when he was in high school. Now all of a sudden he's getting ready to graduate from college. You know, right there, just pulling out what needs to be pulled out and cutting it off. Clipper over comb, guys. Detail work. Detail work separates you from all the other types of hair cutters out there. You have good detail work. So we detailed that side over there. Now I'm gonna come over in this side over here, and I'm gonna work on this side. Make sure that this side over here is blended up nice and properly. Make sure that there's no shadows. Make sure that I'm not leaving any lines. Lines and shadows are the worst thing for fades, guys. Remember that. There's detail work right here, guys. I'm running this is my 1.5, and I'm just looking at a little bit of darkness right there, and I'm just seeing it. And I could tell my transition from the 1.5 to the 4. See how there's a little bit bulky right there? It's kind of sticking out. So now you got to work on that. You got to shape that up and shape it up and bring it up and bring it in nice and tight. Super tight fades all the time. That's what I always tell everybody. Super tight fades at Big L's Barbershop. That's what we aim for. That's what you guys got to aim for. You know, you want to be known as a fade shop, or do you want to be known as a regular shop? I don't know about you, but I'd rather be known as a fade shop. I want to be known as a shop where you can go and get a nice, tight fade. That's what you want to do. Right there, I'm just working on that corner right there, guys. It's just some little bit of clipper over comb, facing them in the direction that I need to face them. You notice how I maneuver the head? You know, you're in charge of this haircut. When you're in charge of the haircut, you got to maneuver the head to however you need to get it done, so that it looks proper and it looks good. Because a lot of times, you know, we waste time on other sections instead of focusing on the sections that we need to focus on. Right there, the fade's already looking kind of tight, guys. Looking kind of tight. It's all coming in together. That's my half clip right there, and I'm just focusing on the secondary shadow line. Okay, now that we're done with the fade, we're done with the beard, we're done with the top. The only thing that's left is to shave this young gentleman. And at Big Al's shop, barbershop, everybody gets faded with a shave, guys. Everybody gets shaved with a shave. Does that make sense? A shave with a shave? No, it doesn't make sense. But what I do is I come in with my Bronze Series 9 right here, and I'm just running at the bottom, from the bottom up, getting it nice and tight, taking all the stubble out. Stubble is no good. So we're trying to get that stubble out, making it look nice and clean, nice and tight. Super tight fades all the time, guys. Super tight fades all the time. Remember that. That's a bad camera angle because I got my hand up right there, but you guys get the idea. Start off on one side. I'm going to start moving the other way. Just trying to get it nice and clean. Guys, if you guys ain't up on game on the Bronze Series 9, I don't know what to tell you. Bronze Series 9 is a workhorse of workhorsing trimmers right here, guys. It takes down everything down to the scalp, and it does it with a gentle factor, guys. This machine right here, you could use it on a young kid. You could use it on a baby if you had to. That's how forgiving it is and how easy it is to use. But right there, I'm just staying below my shave line, guys. As you guys can tell, just stay below the shave line. Never go above your shave line or my zero line. Because if you go above the zero line, then guess what? Then you're into your shave. You're into your fade, and you don't want to do that. You don't want to start messing up your fade and creating new shadows, new fade line, new guidelines. You want to stay below your shave line. And that shave line is the original fade line that you created when you went with the zero. Remember that. Little steps like this, guys. Little things like this that you need to remember and keep control of in your mind. It's a game plan. Cutting hair is a game plan. You have to have a game plan when you come in to cut this hair. You got to know when your haircut's over. Nobody wants to be in your chair for 2 hours while you decide if you're learning how to cut hair or you don't know how to cut it right or whatever. You got to be on it. You got to be on it. You got to be on it quick. So right here, what I'm going to use is I'm using some new stuff that it's called Maverick by It's by a brand called Maverick by Paul Mitchell, and it's basically what it is a hair setter. Provide a generous amount, and what I'm gonna do is blow dry the hair in the direction that I want it to sit. And the reason being is because I'm gonna use some pomade on him, and when you use pomade, it's better to use pomade on dry hair. Remember that, guys. Wet hair and pomade just do not mix. Wet hair, especially if your pomade is water soluble, because water soluble is just gonna soak it up. So right there, I'm just kind of just drying the hair, lifting it up, and curling it back. It's called a curl brush right here, guys. And the reason why is because you can create curls and lift up the hair, twist it backwards until the hair starts drying out. If you guys aren't blow drying hair, guys, to when you apply pomade, I mean, I really think that's something that you need to implement in your services, because it adds an extra value when you style somebody's hair. And you even have to sometimes show your clients how to style their hair, because the haircut that they get at the barbershop and the haircut that they get when they get home, sometimes it's two different things, and you don't want that. You want them to be able to get home and style their hair the way you did it. That way they look good all the time and they come back to you. So that's just an added service. So sometimes you got to show your clients how to style their hair. You know what I mean? Give them the mirror, style it for them, and show them. Kind of just combing it over in the direction, see if it's all dry, seeing if it will set in the right direction. Looks pretty good to me. So to give you a little price point on this haircut, guys, at my shop, this is a $27 haircut, $27 for a haircut and a beard trim. If they get an appointment, it's $8 more, so that bumps it up to $35. That's how the barbershop business is. You set a price, you set a premium for appointments. You just try to work those numbers. Try to get the biggest ticket possible. At the end of the day is what you want. The more your tickets are, the more money you make, of course. Especially if you're like at my shop, I work for commission, so my barbers make 70% of whatever their haircuts are, and I take 30%. At this point, the haircut is pretty much done. I'm kind of doing the last little bit of detail, clipper over comb here, and little touch-ups here and there, and everything looks good now. The only thing that's left is I want to fade out the beard. So what I'm going to do right here, the beard is remember to number 5, so I'm just going to come in with a number 1.5 first to create a little bit of lightness, and then I'm going to start off with a 0, and I'm just going to work my way down. Basically what you're doing is you're fading in the opposite direction. You're fading down from a 0 to, say this was a 5, so you're fading down to a number 5, but at the same time I'm following the fade up on top, and I see little shadows and little this and that, and that's part of the detail part of this haircut. You got to stay on board. You got to stay where you're at. You got to look at your shadows, make sure that everything's nice and clean. Right there, I'm going to add a little bit extra pop by just, hitting it with the blade along the beard line on the top. Nice straight line. And bam, this haircut's popping already, guys. See how nice that looks when you put a nice straight line? You could tell the little detail work right there, guys. Doing the other side the same way. Little detail stuff like this, guys. This is little stuff that the client appreciates you doing, because now he knows that this haircut's going to be looking tight fades, guys. Alright, guys, at this point this haircut is pretty much over. We are finished. All I'm doing now is I'm gonna apply a little bit of tip top pomade, and just apply it to the top, and a little matte pomade actually. And this is some pretty good stuff right here. And the matte pomade, if you guys don't know, matte pomade is pomade that actually makes your hair look dry instead of wet. So you apply a dry look to your hair instead of a wet look, and that's what a regular pomade is. But at this point, guys, this haircut is done. I appreciate you guys watching again. I appreciate you guys coming by the channel. The channel is growing. We're doing a lot of product reviews, vlogging daily. We're doing more tutorials. I encourage you guys to subscribe to our channel, guys. Big Al's Barber Channel is here to help you further your barber career by me just letting you guys know how I developed my barber career and how I progressed and showing you how I do my things. Not only is the barbershop as far as cutting hair, but as financials, I'm helping you deal with stresses in the barbershop, everything that has to do with barbering, guys. So I encourage you guys to subscribe and join the team, guys. With that being said, guys, I appreciate you guys watching, and grind on, and see you guys on the next video.